Cruz. I'm Paradomics, and welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. So I have not done the DDLC yet, but I will do that in my spare time. So in order to unlock the side stories, I actually have to play the game, the first game, even though I kind of already did, but that was from a separate game. So here we're continuing off from Sayori's side quest, which is Trust. Okay. So in the last video, we realized that Sayori joined the club, and then she showed us the poem that she has, the first poem, and then Monica found her other poems, which was a lot more, how do you say, depressing than the first poem that Sayori accidentally showed to Monica. So it shows here that Sayori has problems, that she's sad deep down. I think that's what it is. Is that because she always makes herself happy, now she wants, like, she becomes, I don't know, you have to see the last video in order to understand this. Another day passes in a flash, and it's already time for the next club meeting. Although Monica should come up with a plan for today's club task, she hasn't been able to shake the guilt and anxiety after reading Sayori's poem. Yeah, so now Monica kind of feels bad about Sayori because Sayori's always trying to make Monica happy. But she didn't realize that Sayori was not happy as well. It's like, I'm pretty sure Sayori does not like to join the literature club. She only did it because it was to make Monica happy. And that's what Monica is trying to get at here. That's why Monica feels guilty that she feels like Sayori is being forced to join the literature club so Monica can be happy. That's what the poem was trying to represent. Alright, here we go. I'm so stupid. How do I let myself become the center of attention? Sayori's going through all these kinds of feelings. I'm letting her comfort me instead of the other way around. What kind of club president does that? This whole time, I didn't think to ask about her own feelings. So much for the stupid vision. Sayori enters the club room with her usual smile. But upon seeing the downcast Monica, her smile quickly fades into an expression of concern. Monica? Is everything okay? I'm really sorry. I'm such a terrible friend. Well, we've only met for 2 days. How could you be a terrible friend? Huh? What are you talking about? You're an amazing friend. Yeah, you're pretty cool yesterday. Monica shakes her head. I made this all about myself. Even you said so yesterday. You told me that I'm trying to make the club that I need the most, right? But my problems are so trivial compared to yours. Sayori responds quietly. What are you talking about? But as she says that, her face darkens. Through the silence, Sayori mutters her realizations. I left my folder here. Monica stares blankly ahead, unable to come up with a response. I wasn't ready to share those. Now you're worrying about me. I don't want that. But why? We're friends, right? Wordlessly, Sayori nods. Friends look out for each other. I want to be here for you as much you are here for me. Another long moment passes in silence. The air is incredibly heavy. This is different. It wasn't just about you yesterday. It was about the club. Besides, things were so happy yesterday. You don't need to do this all of a sudden. I don't want it. I like happy. So, if you do this, then you're just being selfish. Monica massages her forehead, struggles through the frustration of such a paradox. It's understandable that Sayori isn't ready to share certain things, but it's unfair as it is for Monica to pry. It's also painful for Monica to force herself to ignore the needs of her friend. I'm sorry I looked. I disrespected your privacy. No, I don't blame you for looking. You would have at least needed to check if it was mine. Yeah. Takes a deep breath. Okay, I understand you don't want me to worry, but I think I'll be able to put this aside so we can move on. But can you promise me something? Promise you what? Monica pauses to collect her thoughts. This is the literature club. It's a place where people can express themselves in the ways that life normally doesn't allow them to. That's the vision. In fact, it's our vision. Right away into your heart or whatever. So I just want you to promise me that you'll remember that too. It doesn't have to be right now, but I want to be here for you when you need it. I want us to be ourselves, just like that. Sayori gently smiles. I can't even read the word in order! Fucks me, I'm so annoying. I'll promise if you promise. Unable to help it, Monica Sayori smiles. Returns Sayori's smile. I promise. Me too. As the conversation closes, the mood in the room is lifted. With that behind them, it's time to proceed with the club activities. Yeah, this is very concerning too. It's like Monica wants to help Sayori, but Sayori doesn't want Monica to feel to, what do you call it? Be depressed because of her. She just wants her to be happy. If Monica's happy, then Sayori's happy. That's what she's trying to do here. But if Monica wants to help Sayori, even though Sayori doesn't want it to be like that. Like she doesn't want Monica's help. Because if she does, then it's just gonna create more problem and it's gonna make Monica worry, which Sayori doesn't like. And if Monica keeps pushing that, that's why it would make Monica selfish, because she's like ignoring Sayori's Sayori's request of just like, no, it's fine, you don't need to help me, But in a way, it's such a shit situation Monica's in, Monica wants to help, but Sayori doesn't want to open up, doesn't want her to help because it will make her sad, and it will also make Monica worry, which she doesn't want that to happen. It's just very fucks, in other words. With that behind, it's time to proceed with the club activities. So, want to teach me about poetry? Huh? But what about recruitment? It's fine, we have plenty of time for that. Right now, I feel like I want to do this. I mean, I do have to fulfill my end of the promise, There's no way I can say no to that. Just don't expect much. I do a lot of writing, but it's not like I'm a scholar or anything. That's fine. I think I just need like some motivation. I never know where to start when it comes to writing poems. Starting is so hard. You kind of just need to write down your feelings and see where it takes you. Yeah, but that wouldn't come out any good. It's not supposed to. You're gonna have to fight your own perfectionist mind on this one. You can start by just writing your feelings and see what kind of things it makes you think of. And then you can turn your feelings into a story. You can get your feelings down first, then make it sound pretty later. It's not like building a railroad where you're going one end to the other. It's more like a collage where you find all the things you want to put it in and then you arrange them in pretty ways. At least that's how I do it. It's not like it's the only way. But it's a really good way to not get stuck right in the beginning. I understand. Yeah. I always get so caught up in how it sounds that I forget what's actually important. Monica pulls out a pen and a paper to start writing on. Stop being a perfectionist, you idiot. Just kidding. Monica scribbles out you idiot after she writes it down. No, keep it. What? Why? Are you calling me an idiot? Of course not. Well, but the point is you're not supposed to police your feelings, right? Be as dramatic as you want. But I was just... well, yeah. Underneath the scribble, Monica rewrites you idiot. She stares at the paper. Her word stares back at her. It's kind of funny how I wrote down what I'm mad at myself for, and then I did the exact thing anyway. This is really gonna take some getting used to. I believe in you. Thanks. I do too. Me, I mean. But also you, of course. Monica continues the exercise, jotting down her thoughts. It's surprisingly quite a struggle to write without overthinking it. After a while, Sayori's guidance and encouragement, Monica's sheets of paper begins to look fairly lively, peppered with all of her random thoughts. Whew. Monica looks up and down at her sheet. Gosh, I feel so tense looking at this. I hate it. but it's also kind of liberating. I can tell how hard you're trying. It makes me happy. I think you'll be good at writing poems. Don't give me too much credit. I have to try really, really hard at it. But I think it's something I'll enjoy doing. With you. Sayori beams. I'll stop here, but we still have some time. Let's try to work out a new flyer for the club. I won't be so picky about the language. Yay! Let's do it! Monica and Sayori proceeds with their work. I was about to say Mayori. I was about to make their own ship name. Mayori. Oh my god. Was it Moyori? Monica? Whatever. Sayori and Monica. With each passing day, the two of them become more confident in the club. Not simply from their recruitment planning, but from their vision as well. As their bond strengthens, so does the essence of the club. Finally, they begin to truly feel it's only a matter of time before they find more members. Another day passes. As usual, Monica is the first one in the club room. With her is a printout of the revised literature club flyers, complete with all new ideas Monica and Sayori came up with. If only this was a flyer we give to that one reading girl the other day. It's so much more attractive than the older one. But the new catchphrase is featured clearly in the center of the flyer. Right the way into your heart. Surely, common sense would say that one writes from the heart, not into the heart. But the message being delivered is that one can use writing to discover themselves. Hopefully, Monica and Sayori had thought that it would be enough to garner some curiosity from students. Why do I feel so tense looking at this? Monica thinks back to the previous meeting when she performed the writing exercise. Was I always this bad at expressing myself? How am I supposed to be the president if I can't even demonstrate what the club is supposed to be about? The literature club is truly beginning to take form. But with that, the weight on Monica's shoulder only becomes heavier. The debate club was always about rigid structures, formulating airtight points and counterpoints, and delivering them to the conviction. It was about the person on the outside. That's why Monica was so good at it. It existed entirely within her realm of comfort. It's suffocating. I need a break from this mental wall. I need to learn to express myself for real. Monica pulls out a sheet of paper and grabs her pen. She presses the tip of her pen firmly against the paper. But her hand doesn't move. Instead, a tiny blot of ink collects at the tip of her pen. And this is from one of her tip of the day, where she was like, it was something like, if you keep the pen on the paper, you'll make an ink puddle. So it's best to move your hands, you know? So don't overthink things. Just go with it. And when you're done, you revise it, you review it, and then if there's something you want to tidy up, then you revise it. Yeah. Monica lifts her pen and stares at the little botch. For some reason, she feels compelled to run her fingers across it. As she does so, the black ink smears across the paper, ruining Monica's canvas. Ugh. Out of spite of herself, Monica presses her pen down once again, letting the ink collect. She creates a second smear on the paper. Come on, Monica. Just move your hand. Monica writes. This is what I get for seeking perfection. A stain. Oh, that's a bit depressing. Monica slides the paper away from her and puts her head down the desk. Sad. The air conditioner seems louder today. I'm here. Hi. Monica hears Sayori approach the desk, then stops for a second, probably reading a piece of paper. And then she sits down at an adjacent desk. Bad day? Mm-hmm. Me too. You too? The new flyer looks so good. You've been working so hard. On the club, but also something else, I think. I can't do it. I'm sorry. It's just so hard to just be vulnerable. Sayori takes the sheet of paper from Monica's desk. She writes something down, then stares at it for a while. Can I trust you? Of course. You can trust me with anything. Sayori gazes at Monica with sadness in her eyes. Understanding the signal, Monica takes the paper from Sayori's desk and reads it. Alright, what is it this time? Sometimes I want to die. Oh shit. Oh shit. I knew Sayori was like, was very depressed at some point. I mean, again, from what I've heard from the previous poem of hers, yeah, there's this. Sayori, this is really, really hard for me. Her voice shakes. So if I can do it, then you can do it too, because you're like a million times better than me. Yeah, that's the thing too. It's like she keeps saying to give Monica should give herself credit, yet here she is, like, not knowing that she's doing just as much as Monica. She gives herself little credit, you know, because that's what she wants. She doesn't want credit. She wants Monica to have all the credit, so Monica will be happy, and for her, and that's good for her. That's enough for her. That's enough for Sayori to be happy. That's completely not true. Sayori takes a deep breath, trying to steady herself. That's just something about me that I've never told anyone before. Not even your childhood friend. Even now, my head is like screaming at me to stop. Wait, you don't have to force yourself. I mean, just because the promise yesterday, I want to. It just feels right. I mean, maybe it's part of the reason I came to this club in the first place. Yeah. This is the literature club. Yeah, maybe that's also the part of the reason why she wants to join. It's so she can express herself without being judged, you know? And I think that's why she wanted to join here. Because she just wants to be able to express what she feels without having people, you know, be concerned or like pity her in a way. I think because, again, when Monica saw her first poem, she felt bad for Sayori, and Sayori didn't like that. Sayori didn't want Monica to, you know, pity her or something like that, because it makes her sad. So here, Sayori just wants to express herself without having this pity. I trust you more than I'm scared. At those words, Monica stands up. Sayori may have taken days to work up the courage for this, were Monica's own futile but genuine efforts actually the push that Sayori needed. Sayori's deliberate breath can be heard over the air conditioners. As she prepares herself to continue, Monica waits in a gentle silence. I have this problem where I get upset when people worry too much about me. There it is. I can't control it. It's like, why waste your energy worrying about me when you can just be happy instead? See? It's exactly like that. She doesn't like people to pity her or worry about her because, like, it's pointless, you know? But in a way also, it's like, it's also the same way for other people. Because if you're not happy, how can I be happy? That's what Monica's thinking, I guess. So I never tell anyone about these kind of thoughts that I have. It's so much easier to just smile and help everyone else be happy. But that's terrible. That's what Monica wanted to say, but she stops herself in fear of saying the wrong things. It's just that if everyone knew about it, they wouldn't treat me the same anymore. Yeah, and like that too, is like they'll be careful around her. They won't, because in a way I feel like Sayori doesn't want people to censor themselves or to police themselves around her. Sayori is like sad and depressed, and she doesn't want it to be like when she meets her people or her friends, they'll be like, sorry, are you okay? Are you getting any better? Are you seeking help? She doesn't want that. She doesn't want people to worry about her. She just wants people to be happy, not worry about anything around the world and just be happy. Because that's all Sayori wanted. That's why she refused to share that, because she doesn't want to be treated differently. She just wanted to be treated how a person would treat her, either be angry or annoyed. That's why her childhood friend was always like saying, "Oh, you're so annoying," and she's fine with that because he's expressing himself exactly how he wanted to express himself, and Sayori wanted that. That's why Sayori is fine with him calling her annoying or an idiot or clumsy. Because again, if the main character of the first game knew that Sayori had this kind of problem, he would have treated her differently. He wouldn't say she was annoying. He would say it's okay, it's fine, or he would treat her differently, And that's Sayori doesn't like that because for her it feels like they're not being genuine with her. They're not being real with her because she has a problem. And that's what she doesn't like to have. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking this, but it's just what I feel, This is the literature club. Express how you feel. Like whenever I'm not smiling, everyone would worry about me and ask me what's wrong. I know that because it used to be like that. Sayori pauses, seeming to recall something in the past. I just want everyone to be happy. The most important thing to me. That's the most important thing to me. And letting people look inside my head doesn't bring happiness to anyone. Sayori pauses again, her solemn expression making her look almost like an entirely different person. How do you find the courage to tell me this? You're not worried? You're not worried that I'll be one of those people too? I am worried. Part of me really hates myself for doing this. But another part of me, I think, just felt like it would be different this time. Whenever we talk about the club, it's supposed to mean Whenever we talk about the club, what the club is supposed to mean, I kept feeling like it was right for me to do. Especially after you've been trying so hard to express yourself too. It just made me feel like I could say it in confidence, and our friendship doesn't have to change. It's so silly. The club is only 2 people, and it already means this much to me. Monica feels a tightening sensation in her heart. A feeling of connection as Sayori's emotion radiates between them. Me too. I was so lost until you showed up. You're so brave, Sayori. You're so brave. You're strong and brave. I don't even compare. Monica steps forward. But if nothing else, I can at least offer you some hug energy, if you'd like. Oh, this is so sweet! Wordlessly and without a smile, Sayori rests her forehead on Monica's shoulder. Through her contact, Monica can almost feel the torrent of thoughts swimming in Sayori's head. And in this moment, enchanted by the air of the club, Monica realized that all of the days that have passed, this is the one where she really, really hopes that nobody new walked through the door. She speaks softly. You're like the sweetest girl I've ever met. You can say anything. I'll never judge you. I promise. Sayori breathes begin to quiver. She takes several breaths, trying as hard as she can to start speaking, to say the things she never once dared to say out loud. And finally she speaks in a choked voice. I'm so worthless. I'm worthless, and everyone would be better off without me. She suppresses a sob as tears fall down her cheek. I'm just an inconvenience to everyone. I'm not good at anything. It just feels like everyone just has to put up with me. And I hate it. I hate it. The more Sayori speaks, the more she fails to control her voice, falling victim to the overwhelming sadness clutching at her throat and chest. I don't want to have these thoughts. I want them to go away. And now I'm making you put up with me. And I just want to die. As soon as Sayori loses her composure, Monica becomes determined to keep her own. She only wants to be what Sayori needs to be right now. so she won't let any sadness show. And her voice comes through us soft and gentle. This isn't putting up with you. It's just being your friend. Monica offers a few words of comfort. But she knows, Sayori said it herself, that the thought Sayori experiences are the ones that don't belong. And Monica can't magically make them go away. Oh, what is this? Is that a glitch or something? Whatever. It's so sad. The most she can do is help Sayori battle them, like a good friend would. You have so much value, to me, and your other friends too. This club wouldn't be the same without you. I really mean that. You coming here was the best thing that could ever happen. Even if we never got any other new members, I would still be happy. That's what brought you here. You brought us a vision, and you also brought happiness. And that's your favorite thing to do, right? Sayori doesn't respond, but Monica feels her head nod. No more words are needed between them. The two share their embrace for a while longer, Monica letting Sayori take as much time as she needs. Once her breathing steadies and her sniffles fully cease, Sayori lifts her head and wipes her eyes. I guess I needed that. Some days are harder than others. Well, I'm here whenever you need me. But any other time, I'll make sure that things are the way they usually are. If that makes you happy. Thanks. You're the best. No, you are. The two exchange smiles. You know, I'm sorry to bring this up all of a sudden, but have you considered talking to a professional? Sayori nods. It's scary, since it's already hard to tell people. Yeah. Well, of course, will always be your choice, but if you're ever looking to find the courage for it, I can do my best to help you. Thanks. I think it helps knowing that you would. Sayori suddenly yawns and stretches. Wow, that made me tired and hungry. Well, I won't make you do any work today if you're not up for it. No, I want to. I mean, I can say that it's definitely one thing that makes me happy. Monica smiles. But I might want to get a snack first. All of a sudden, the sound of the door causes the two of them to turn their heads. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks. A face that seems familiar. Yuri! Bah, fuck you. Making me play the full game first. Oh, that was so sweet! Oh, we have it right here. Wait, can we have the other expressions though? Oh, this is so sweet! What the fuck? I wasn't expecting this! I'm sorry, Natsuki, but I'm sorry, this is too beautiful. This is too beautiful for me to not set as, you know? Oh, God. That's not what I expect. That even makes me hate Monica even more. Like in the original game where she deliberately made Sayori more depressed and made her kill herself, you know? Well, again, I get it. I know she's an AI and she is aware that she's in a game. I don't know. Are we not playing Doki Doki anymore? Like if I play this, am I literally playing an anime, like a real visual novel? I just don't know. Is Monica not gonna because there's files here, and obviously I know what they want me to do. There's a reason why there's character here. They want me to delete it. It's obvious. Okay, there's a reason why there's all the poem text. Sorry, writing word. Happiness 3-1. That strategy to. Oh, these are the words that I can use to impress them when I use the poem. Cute, fluffy, pure candy, shopping kitty, clouds. Yeah. Here we go. Peaceful, nature, forgive, prayer, broken. Oh, nibble, fantasy, marshmallow, hop, skipping, peace, twirl, lollipop, poof, bubble, whisper. Whisper? How's whisper cute? I don't know. Games not cute. Game sounds like what Sayori would like. It's like 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 1. Okay, so now I know what words to use when I'm trying to impress a girl. It's understandable. I noticed it's just Yuri. There's Natsuki and there's Sayori. Okay, I get it. Okay. Thanks for that. What's this font? Unable to font unknown file type. Okay. All right. See, there's a reason why there's this. Okay. I know Monica's gonna break the fourth wall, and I have to go here, and then I have to right click and delete this. I like how Monica has more kilobytes than the rest of the girls. Natsuki's just like 4. Is this big? Is this like the height? No, no, no. Yours is like 30. Okay. So, anyways, that was the side story of Sayori. And my God, that was so heartbreaking. That was so sad too. Makes me really like Sayori even more. All right. So, anyways, like I said before, I'm gonna continue Doki Doki Literature Club on my own. I know how it's gonna act. It's gonna be just like every Doki Doki, like the first Doki Doki. Monica's gonna break the fourth wall and then destroys and try to trap us here, and we have to delete her file. There's a reason why files is here, and we can go to characters, so that we don't have to do it with our desktop. But anyways, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, thumbs up, like, but to death. Become a character today, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
I'll be waiting alone. I'll be waiting right here.